Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Vista in California. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling Magic Monday. So what are we up to today for Magic Monday? Well, I read this really great article and I thought I would share it with you. The link is in the description and it's called 7 Practical Life Lessons from Albert Einstein. It was actually written in 2015, but the information is still relevant today, and I thought it would make a great Magic Monday because a lot of these principles apply to magicians and how they do their tricks and everything. Because if you think about it, so we're all about magic, making the magic happen today, and this is going to cover your mindset, your business, and your fun. So 1 article, 3 things, 7 life lessons. This is awesome. I love this. I read through this article and I thought I have to share it. So, and if you want to see the article, the link I said is in the description. So click on that and you can go read the article. But number 1 is follow your curiosity. Albert Einstein said, "I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious." And I thought, oh my gosh, I am so curious about a lot of things. But they said that, you know, curiosity is what helps you get into action. So if you're curious about something, you will go and do whatever you need to do to research it, to learn about it, to gain knowledge on it, to gain experience with it. And it's when he said here, when you keep digging your vision and answer all the questions, you'll be amazed at how life can extraordinarily be with continued curiosity. So always be curious. And think about it, magicians are always curious. You know, how can we make this coin disappear? How many different ways can we make this? You know, you've got that TV show with Penn and Teller, like stumping them. Like the magicians get up there and perform some magic trick, and Penn and Teller have to figure out how they did it. And sometimes you get those people that actually do stump them. They can't figure out how it got done. So it's but it's funny how they do it too, because they'll suddenly say, they'll give you an example of somebody doing a different trick and talk about some principle, and then he goes, "You know what I'm talking about, right?" And the guy will go, "Yes, but that's not the right one." You know, things like that. But be curious. Be curious about everything. If you got curious in it, you know, be passionate about being curious. That's a cool one. I love that one. Number 2 was perseverance is priceless. And Einstein said, "It's not that I'm not smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer." And that's true. That is so true. I mean, how many times, you know, perseverance, think about practice. You got to persevere every day to get that practice in. You know, a swimmer is learning how to swim or wanting to beat their best time. They're in their training. They've got that perseverance. They're not going to quit. That's never quit. Remember we talked about don't quit last week? About you just keep on going. You keep on going. And when you've got that curiosity, you're going to persevere following that line of curiosity until your curiosity is satisfied, by which stage you've already created another one. It's like going down a rabbit hole. Like, you know, think about surfing the internet, how you start off searching one topic and you keep getting, and you're persevering, you've got that passionate curiosity going, and you start following that curiosity and you keep going and keep going and keep going, and all of a sudden, whoo, what's off over here? And you go and you go and you go. It's the same thing with genealogy. I am curious about genealogy, curious about how the relationships between ancestors and stuff work, curious to see where they fit in the history timeline, and I get into things and I'm sort of like, oh my gosh, here's the census report and here's their entire family. Oh, so like, oh, you hear little angels singing up above you. Oh, hallelujah. Not quite that revealing, but pretty cool. And then all of a sudden you've got all their entire family. You've got the mum, the dad, you've got their siblings. And so then you sort of say, oh, where do I start? And it's like, stick with the ancestor first. Let's get that one done. And then we can go and work on the siblings, and then we can work on the parents. And, you know, so you got to take it step by step. See, sometimes that perseverance will lead you down perseverance with curiosity will lead you down rabbit holes. Make mistakes. Number 3, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Oh my gosh, the mistakes I have made through life has all been through trying new stuff. There are stuff that I've tried once and made some balls up with it and thought, okay, obviously that's not for me. My curiosity was gone, my perseverance was gone, I made the mistake, and I was like, yep, nope, not doing that one again. Military boot camp, totally enjoyed the time I was there. Don't think I would do it again. There's some things in that I would not do again, and other things I would absolutely love to do again. So it's kind of one of those things that, and did I make mistakes in boot camp? Absolutely. I ended up getting soaked in water one time. You know, I had boots on. We had, what do we have? Fatigue. We had coveralls on with our boots, and we were having to go across this single wire bridge, and we had almost like we had a piece of rope that was tied to a branch, and that was our guide rope. and I put my foot on the bottom rope wrong and ended up underwater, totally drenched. I would not do that again. Give me a two rope bridge. I can get across that like nobody's business. As long as I can reach the top and the bottom rope, I'm across there like real quick. Give me a three rope bridge. I'm across that thing. I learned how to walk those ones. The single rope bridge, I never learned how to walk those. And when you're in boots, it makes it very difficult, and they're slippery. They had slippery soles on them too, so those things got wet and nobody stood a chance. In fact, I don't even think anybody made it across there. But you make mistakes. You get told exactly how to do it, and if you don't follow the rules, or if you don't follow them, you'll make mistakes. I've made lots and lots and lots of mistakes over time. Have I learned from them? Absolutely. Some I will go out there and do it again and try it a different way. Other times I'm just like, yep, no, I'm done. Because I see that if I keep going down that path, I'm not going to end up where I need to go anyway. So that wasn't leading me in the right, which is why I made the mistake, because it wasn't leading me in the right place. Number 4, create value. And Einstein said, strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. And in value, he's talking, someone of value inspires others to live the right way and do the right thing. Living in accordance with one's religious, philosophical, or spiritual values. A person of value has ethics, morality, decency, integrity, principles, and honesty. And all those things one should strive to attain. So it makes it really, really cool. And I'm always trying to create value in myself. Being a person of integrity and honesty, I'm always striving for that each and every day. Do I make mistakes? Absolutely. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're always making mistakes. But we learn from them and we move on. Number 5, knowledge comes from experience. Einstein said, information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. And I'm like thinking, yeah. And then he talks about, having the libraries with all the books. I love my books. I learn a lot from my books. But I don't leave the stuff in the books. Yes, you can read the books to gain some sort of knowledge, just a little bit of knowledge, but the real knowledge comes from putting that stuff into practice. Yes, you can read every book that you want to every single day and think that you are knowledgeable, but until you actually put that stuff into practice and experience it, there's no knowledge. Sorry, it is that way. It's that way with anything. You can hear stories on how people have accomplished stuff, and yes, it will inspire you, but for you to gain that actual knowledge, you have to experience it. Because when you actually do something, you're involving all your senses, which gives you that knowledge. It's like I'm using the knowledge of having cared for somebody with cancer to help to inspire other caregivers. I'm using that knowledge as the knowledge of having somebody who passed, having a spouse who passed from cancer, to inspire to help other people in a similar situation who have had spouses pass on them. So I'm using that knowledge to help comfort them and give them somebody that they can talk to who knows what they've been through. Because it's really hard to try and help somebody if you have not experienced what it is you're trying to help them with. You can pass on all the book knowledge and they can tell it's book knowledge, but until you add those stories in there about what you've experienced personally, that's where the knowledge comes from. The knowledge comes in the stories. They have that sales thing, facts tell, stories sell. Facts will tell every single time, but stories will always sell the experience and the knowledge. So when you've got those stories in there about your personal life experiences that you've been through, that you're using to help somebody through their similar experience, then they know that you have the knowledge to help them through that experience. So knowledge definitely comes from experience. Totally agree with that. Number 6, I like this one. Learn the rules, then play better. And Einstein said you have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. So you learn the rules of the game, and then you go out there and you push those limits. You don't actually step over. You know where the line is. You get into that little gray area sometimes on some things, but you do it with integrity, and you do it with honesty, and you do it with the heart, and you do it come from a place of love, and therefore you are not going to cross any barriers. You're not going to break any rules. You are going to stretch some rules. In life, we're always stretching rules, but you're not going to actually break them. And when you do that, it also too, if people turn around and say, you do this, and then you do this. Da, 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 da. Yes, some jobs you've got to go point A to point B. Da, 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 da. You have your little process that you've got to go through. Yes, but if you look at that process from a different angle, you may be able to come at it from a different. If you can come from a different angle, it may make it more efficient. You may get better results out of it. So it's not just learning the rules and saying, okay, this is our process. We go blah 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 blah, and you come along and go, wow, what if we did do 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 do, and they'll go, oh, that could work. So learn to play better. I like that one. And the last one is the imagination is powerful. And Einstein said, imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Oh, I think that, just let that sink in again. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Whew. When you get your imagination going, anything is possible. Your imagination is what powers you. Your future hasn't been written yet because you're still working on it. You know, what's that saying about imagination? Think of any time that a sports person goes out to win a race, to play a game or whatever. They've already pictured, or think, what's the movie? There was one about running the sub 4 minute miles. They said it would never be done. Yet that guy, and I can't think of his name. There's a movie about it. Well, it's going to drive me nuts. But he had that perseverance, that do not quit attitude. Somebody said, you can never run nobody can never run a sub 4 minute mile. This guy went out there, took whatever rules were out there, basically threw them out the window. With perseverance, he went out there, and he went out there and he ran and he ran and he ran and he ran until he actually broke the 4 minute mile. He was trying everything he could. He was looking at it from different angles. He wasn't following the rules as such. He was going out and making his own rules along the way. But because of his imagination, his ability to be able to picture himself actually running that sub 4 minute mile, when it came time to actually run the race, he had already won it up here in his imagination. So he knew he was going to go out there and run it. Anybody that's out there, that's a sports person, or even speakers going out on stage, will use their imagination to help them see how their presentation is going to go. What is their presentation going to be like? What is their running race going to be like? What's the game going to be like? Whatever it is that you're going to do, use your imagination to put yourself in that position right there, right now, so you can actually picture it, you can feel it, you can use that knowledge of experience to help you experience what is it going to be like if I win this? What is it going to be like if I have a standing ovation? What is it going to be like if this happens? And you can use your imagination to put yourself in there, but you put yourself through that time and time and time again in the same thing. So when the event actually comes to happen, it's already happened up here. You go out there and you sail through it and it goes exactly as you imagined it. The imagination is such a powerful thing. If you think of the law of attraction, it's all about using the imagination and believing that you can achieve what you can imagine. The mind of man can conceive and believe he can achieve. That's where imagination comes in. So you can take that imagination, and when you're imagining it, you're using everything. You're using all 6 of these other things here. You're following your curiosity, because what's it going to be like if I do this? Your perseverance. You are constantly going over that scene in your brain. You're making mistakes. Absolutely, you're going to make mistakes in your brain, and you're going to go back and you're going to fix it and go, okay, we spun out at that position there in that car race, so now we're going to take this. Car racers do it all the time. Golf players do it all the time. They walk the track. They walk the course before they actually get behind the wheel, because it helps them get into the groove of driving that car around that racetrack and knowing how it feels. And then they get to do those practice runs around, and then it cements it more into their mind, and they know, oh, I made a mistake on this corner. I went in too low or I went in too high. So next time I hit that corner, I'm going to go in on this line, and that will make it go through a bit smoother. They're creating their own value. They're using they're using their ethics and their integrity. Some of them is a little sketchy on their integrity in some sports. Some sportsmen are not, yes, but most of them are pretty good guys and gals. Knowledge comes from experience. They're using that experience in the past when they have either raced on that track or played that golf course or run that course. They're using that knowledge to help them get back into that mindset on that course, we're going to talk racing cars for right now. Behind their back, and that they know the experience from behind the wheel, so they're using that knowledge that they have from previous races about going around this course. Where did they make mistakes last time? Did they spin out last time? What happened when they spun out? What happened when somebody hit a wall here and spun across the track? How could they have better gotten around that? They learned the rules, and then they used the rules to their benefits. They used them to play better, to drive those lines a little better, to time their times to going into the pits, because you'll see in some races when the yellow flag comes out and the pace car comes out, a lot of people go off the track into the pit area. Why do they do that? Because then they want to get out before the pace car comes back around again, so that they're at full speed by the time the pace car pulls off the track the next time around. And that way they can start passing people. It's all the tactics. And they can use their imagination to picture all of that, to get all of that done, to already have that race done in their head, have that round of golf in their head, have that tennis match in their head. Whatever it is, they've already played it and experienced it in their mind. Now their body is just catching up with what their imagination's got. That's it from me for now. The article is there if you want to go read it. There's some great knowledge in there, some great stuff. Enjoy your day. Have a super fantastic, sparkling, magic Monday. And I'm going to go and get busy on my curiosity and follow my perseverance. Follow my curiosity and persevere through the curiosity route. Yes. Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it? Have a super fantastic, sparkling day. Hei konera.